So I'm ready to give a little more information about the 72 facets, which you see on this account. You'll see these diamond glyphs. There are 144 glyphs and 72 facets. First of all, I am definitely against making people feel forced into religion. And when you're a spiritual person or an artistic person or cultural or open-minded, you may not be comfortable with religion, or maybe you are. And either way, it should work for everyone. It's definitely not forcing anyone to get involved, but it is based on ancient religious information, just in a way that I think is spiritually inspirational for just about anyone. And it should apply to our lives really pragmatically, as well as philosophically or just inspirationally. So there are 144 glyphs, 72 art prayers, and 144 art prayers if you want to think of it that way. And it's a 6-based glyph numerology, so you'll see 6 lines and 6 lines, also 12 in that case because there's 2 6s, and 12 times 12 is 144, 6 times 12 is 72. You can see my drawings, my work in progress at the bottom of the account. If you go all the way down, you can see I was experimenting with permutation theory, and I have a permutation layout map that I've done. It's really beautiful. So I've been working on this project for many years, ever since a client inspired me to start exploring this in a way that unattaches it from the Seals of Solomon, which has 72 names of demons to invoke related to the names of God. So I definitely wanted to not use this orthodox version of the 72 names of God, which is connected to the Seals of Solomon, and I used a new selection with a new ordering from J.J. Hurtak. And basically, working with this project has been such a megalithic experience. The energy is so immense, so powerful compared to my 64 cards. The numerology of 64, 8, and 16, which I'm working with in that card set, is so laid back and beautiful but relaxed compared to this. So it's been powerful, and that's why it took me so. When I first found this new selection of 72 names by J.J. Hurtak, I was so happy and inspired because it's such a nice new energy. It does feel a lot better when it's not connected to the Seals of Solomon like the old Orthodox version, and I feel that it's a little more updated because these 72 names also include Aramaic as well as Hebrew. And they're a little more modern because they also include Christ as well. So I call this Judeo-Christianity or Judeo-Christian, which means it's basically honoring the whole entire spectrum through history, from Jewish throughout Christian, just honoring it all. And it's based on a historical spectrum of how people were praying, what words they were using for God in their prayers. I must say that even if you're not into Christ and you're more Jewish, it's really great to check out Aramaic, which has multi-dimensional meanings to it. There's a book called Prayers of the Cosmos, the Aramaic sayings of Jesus Christ, which provides, I think it is 12 definitions, or rather translations, of each phrase by Jesus in the Sermon of the Mount, referring to basically 12 dimensions of reality, so to speak, in the philosophical worldview of the Aramaic people, I guess. I'm not the hugest expert, but I know that they're saying that it's such a multi-dimensional language. It has so many layers of meaning. To properly translate it, you need 12 English sentences for one Aramaic sentence. And when you read the Aramaic sayings, they get the impression that the language Aramaic is so incredible. So Jesus really, speaking that language, he was such a beautiful being. So this is not copying or using J.J. Hurtak's work. It's just inspired off of it to do my own art prayers. And I did it with one-word titles and glyphs. this is something that Hurtak actually said in his article, which you can find at his website, keysofenoch.org. He said, like, please don't copy it out into the internet, but yeah, you can do your own prayers based on it. And that's what he does on the website article, is he'll give a prayer with it so that you can think about it more and get more into the definition, or rather the translation of the word. So true that I would feel comfortable sharing about the religious side of it and the 72 names of God background behind the 72 facets, because it's actually a little bit sketchy and on the edge if it's kind of a spiritual or religious matter and forcing people to process religion if I share it on a different venue. Originally, this was a coloring book created for GaiaCraft, which was meant to be used in other projects as well. And GaiaCraft is a permaculture design project for education about permaculture design, which is ecological design. So I would definitely recommend that if you check it out on there, that you don't necessarily over enthuse that it is based on religion, because it doesn't have to relate into the GaiaCraft materials at all. The GaiaCraft coloring book, since it doesn't mention it, it's just a clean space where really these are just inspirational words. They might have a spiritual tone, and I admit that's a little bit of a flaw, because in permaculture it is taboo to mention spirituality very much, but I will definitely upgrade the explanations of the titles to be simply grounded. And there are question exercises that go with it, which I've also included here with every facet, as you'll see in the posts. And that's my first step in just grounding out the titles into grounded themes, ecology themes, nature. So yeah, I hope that you like it. And I just feel that on Unity Life, it's really an appropriate venue to explore spirituality here at this mystery school. Very valuable study. So I definitely encourage it here at Unity Life. At the mystery school here, it's a way of studying how these inspirational art prayers can bring so much incredible benefit and just light and beautiful energy to the exploration of potentially the religious material or the historical material, but also just the modern culture and how it all comes into context, into unity with each other. I feel that unity consciousness is the main theme of the project. So in that light of unity consciousness being so important to Unity Life, I want to also say that I really hold the vision that eventually permaculture can be able to hold point. There are some arguments in culture about spirituality, which are serious arguments, which make it very much a fighting scene sometimes when there is a lot of science and a lot of grounded application going on, to the point of basically discrediting people, unfortunately, practically speaking, and making people unable to get respect. So in permaculture, that's why we don't bring up spirituality, but one day I really believe that the human world will evolve beyond that problem and that conflict. And I really see that in the future of permaculture, that Unity Life in my project could be blended more with GaiaCraft. So I look forward to that, and that's my inspiration often, is thinking futuristically that way. And that's why I see and integrated into the present. So you'll see that a lot in my work. It's not just about visiting upon historical data and reimagining it into the now, into a more modern perspective or a more open spiritual viewpoint. So thanks so much for listening.